Hi everyone, I'm back. I just got back from Bali last night and I did say that I was going to record episode 2 in Bali, but you know what? I was too busy living. I was too busy living the life, and I am very grateful to have experienced what I experienced in the last 4 days. It feels very, I won't even say surreal because it was very real. I was very much in every moment. But this episode was going to be something different. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to make this episode all about what happens when you slow down because I live and breathe everything that I share. So I can share it with a lot of confidence because I try as much as I can to honor what I preach. So instead of talking about more about me and all that, it will happen. But I wanted this episode to be around what happens when you slow down and the Bali effect as such. So we flew out Wednesday morning, and everyone flew in on like Thursday. So we had about a day to decompress, get ready, center ground, zone in. And I was very honored and blessed to be part of the Jungle Body retreat in 2026, our first ever. I've been with the Jungle Body community for at least 16 years, I'm going to confidently say. And it is a place, if you don't know about the Jungle Body, look it up. And I know a lot of you would know because that is where a lot of you have come from and tuning in. And I know there's some new faces here as well. So thank you for catching up with me here. It is a place where people come together, get their exercise fix, get their heart rate up with some cardio that doesn't feel like cardio. I'm not one to go to the gym, so finding the Jungle Body was the perfect solution for me to get exercise into my daily, weekly routine. And I know when I miss a week or two, I don't think I've missed more than 3 in a row, that there is just something missing, like your energy levels is not as high or your muscles and your body feels tense. So to be a part of something for so long, I don't think I've been a part of anything for longer than that actually. My job, 12 years. There's nothing else in my life that I can say that I've been more a part of than the Jungle Body community. So it was an absolute honor to be a part of this retreat and host my own breathwork and meditation sessions. I held 2 very different sessions, and those that attended it, well, you had to be there to experience it. Obviously, I do my meditation every week, every Monday night at 6:30, which is tonight. This was just something else, right? This was just another level. One session I had was with 40 plus women in like a conference meeting room, huge. And we filled the floor with some beautiful energy, but it was very emotional. I think everyone cried, including myself. I know that it is very natural, so it was just what was needed. And the second session the day after was completely different, a lot more intimate. I think there was about maybe 12 or 15 of us. And I don't think anyone fully cried. I didn't cry the second one. So every session was different, and getting to meet so many beautiful women, so many beautiful souls that just showed up authentically as they were in life. They didn't wait for the perfect moment to join a retreat. Maybe perhaps when you booked the retreat, you were in a different place of your life because it took us about a year to get it off the ground. And when people showed up, they were able to just be who they were, including myself, right? I know how important it is to slow down. I know how important it is to live in the moment. But naturally, when you step away from your routine, your daily life, what you used to day in, day out, it's a shock to the system. It takes a little bit to get your body to actually go into holiday mode. To be able to share so many memories and moments with all walks of life, ages, different, cultures and backgrounds and stories, and just so many different people in one place at the one time sharing the one experience was phenomenal. So it was able to really open my eyes to what slowing down means for everybody. Because I'm so good at it, it doesn't mean there was not more for me to learn. And I saw people that were not good at it that were able to step into that Zen moment and just be so present. And then to open up in a breathwork meditation setting with 40 different women in the room and just be so vulnerable was such an honor to facilitate. I'm very excited to potentially, not potentially, it's going to happen, run a full retreat of my own one day. But for now, I just wanted to share a bit more for those that are interested in what slowing down actually does for you in life. Whether you are a busy, full time working corporate person, whether you're a full time working mum, or whether you're both, or whether you're neither, wherever you are, whoever you are, slowing down doesn't just mean you get to relax or your body gets to unwind and your mind has a moment to catch up with yourself. Slowing down genuinely opens opportunities and moments for you to really understand what life is about. We could have been rushing around headless, doing all the things, trying to fit everything in, but instead we were able to just be. The fruits that I got to eat, the mangosteen I got to eat, every single one of them, when I was opening them, I would grab it. I don't know if you know what a mangosteen is, if you don't look it up. I would grab it and I would just hold it. And I would just be like, I am so grateful for this moment with my mangosteen. It's going to sound really weird. And the color, the texture, the firmness of, the outside of the mangosteen. And then to like squeeze it and crack it open and see that white, juicy flesh. Each, like, it comes out and it's like a wedge, a segmented wedge of like white fruit, fleshy white fruit that is just fragrant and tasty and sweet. And it, every segment I was eating, I was just like, thank you. Thank you so much for this moment. Thank you for how amazing this tastes. It made me so happy. And I did that the first day we got there. And so my cup was already filled. By the end of it, I was overflowing with mangosteen love. But do you know what I mean? Like, because we can't get it here, or we can get it here, but it's extremely expensive and not that good. So like one bag here is like $25 for like maybe 6 or 7 mangosteen. I got 2 kilos over there for, I don't know, about $10. It was ridiculous. I can't even explain to you how ripped off I feel by not having access to my mangosteen here. But it taught me to just really appreciate that moment. So that's just one thing. As you can imagine, I was doing that to multiple fruits and just moments throughout the whole 4 days. To be able to step away from normality and disrupt it and just go do something different, knowing that your home and your life, your routine, the ones that are left behind to maintain the household, the workforce, is such a privilege. I am so blessed that I have the most amazing husband that was just so supportive. My daughter, so blessed that she was only mad at me one day because we FaceTime and she just said, Mum, you promised me you were not going to have fun. You promised me you were not going to go to the beach. I can see you having fun and I can see the beach. And it was just so funny. We laughed. But, she was amazing while I was away. I know she would be. And just for the extended family to obviously step in and help out. It's only 4 days. But some people don't get that privilege. So that's why I say it's a privilege, right? Some people don't have that supportive partner or a family or an extended family that are going to be able to step in whilst you go away and have a paradise holiday for 4 days. So I know that that is not everybody's situation. So for me, I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for my sister. This is gonna sound really, I don't know what it's gonna sound like, but I don't know if she's ever gonna listen to this, but that's okay. I'm just so grateful for my sister. The night before I was flying out, I hadn't had my nails done. Like they were, because I massage and I do healing energy work and I use my hands and my fingers and I do corporate life, so I'm typing away on the laptop all the time. So my nails would be super short, nothing. I had not had my nails done in I don't know how long. And we spent, I don't know if you can see it, but we spent probably close to 3 hours. I did not pack until midnight the night before, and I think I woke up at 3 o'clock to get ready to leave the house at 4. No, I left the house at 3:45 to get to the airport for 4. So the night before we were doing my nails for 3 hours, and I just said, just do the most basic, most simplest, quickest thing. Just get it done. I don't want to, spend too much time or waste your time. And she refused to do anything less than perfection. And, as I was trying to zip up my bag that night, I was like, oh my God, these nails, I can't do anything. But again, it honestly made me slow down. I had to take my time buttoning my shirt. I had to take my time tying my hair. I had to take my time doing everything. Like it physically slowed me down in the bestest of ways. And every time I catch myself looking at my nails and how beautiful they were and thinking how talented my sister is and being so grateful that she did them for me, again, another moment that could easily be missed, so I'm so grateful. So the lesson is, whether you have a mangosteen or pretty nails or whatever, that you take the time to slow down so that you don't miss these moments. They're very little, and every little moment adds up to how your day turns out and how your day is going to be, how your week is going to be, how your month, your year, your life is going to be. We're so busy in life doing all the things. I understand. I am surrounded by entrepreneurs and businesswomen and inspirational beings that are so busy. But to see everybody drop all of those titles, drop all of those busyness, to be so present in that moment, in each moment, was just so fulfilling. Did you see that? I was just admiring my nails. So if you are in a place in your life right now where you're like, oh, I really wish I could have been on that trip, or I really wish I could get away on a holiday, it doesn't take a holiday. It does not take a holiday for you to actually live the life that you want to live. Leading up to the holiday, I was already getting my hair done. I was already getting a massage. Like I'm always pouring into my cup. Like I do it really well because this is the life, right? This is your life and it's the only one you have. Every second you spend doubting and questioning what it is that you need is another moment and second that you're not giving yourself what you need. So when that little thought pops into your head and says, no, you don't need to do that, then don't do it. Don't do it for satisfaction of somebody else. Don't do it to appease another person. Don't do it because you don't want to do it, right? And same goes for when you get that gut feeling or when you get that thought of, oh, maybe I should go and do that for myself. don't second doubt it. Don't make excuses and say it can wait, or I'll do it next time, or I don't really need that. These little whispers, these little moments in your life, it's your soul's way of telling you to give yourself what you need, right? That self care and self love is not a physical, materialistic thing. I'm not talking about, oh, I really want a Mercedes Benz, and then you go out and get a Mercedes Benz and get into heaps of debt, and then you can't actually drive the thing because you can't afford the petrol. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about moments when you just need to give yourself that love and that acceptance. Don't doubt it. If you need to slow down and take a break, or have a nap, or eat the food before you feed your family, like how many mums out there will not eat or drink or do anything for themselves because they're too busy looking after their children or someone else, and then they get to the day and they're like, oh my god, I'm so hungry, I haven't eaten. I know this because I was that, but like flying on the plane, when that mask drops for oxygen, the first thing you need to do is put it on for yourself, right? Because if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to help the people you love. So it's quite simple. It is factual. If you can't look after yourself and love yourself to the level that you want for others and the people you love, you are doing them a disservice, and you're doing yourself a disservice by spreading yourself thinly and trying to do all the things. You don't need to do all of the things. You just need to do the one thing that you need to do for you. Hope that makes sense. That was a little bit like, I'm going to share an analogy with you now that I share with my clients. I was going to say patients. I'm not a doctor. That I share with my clients. And I want to really share this because for me, it makes a lot of sense. I see a lot of analogies or a lot of like whatever, and I get it. But for me, this is the one that kind of hits home. So imagine yourself as someone that's trying to blow this balloon. So your life is your balloon. You've been given one balloon. And you're sitting there right now blowing into this balloon, and it expands, and it's beautiful, and it's colorful, and it's expanded, right? That's your life. You're blowing into this balloon life. But it quickly deflates because there are so many holes in this balloon. There's like this really big hole in this balloon, and then there's like multiple holes in this balloon because that is the balloon of life. You've been dealt. You've come into this world with a full balloon with no holes. And as you get older and older and things happen to you and around you, you have these little holes in your balloon. So no matter how many days and times you sit there and try to blow this balloon, and it does inflate, but then it kind of collapses in quite quickly as well. And then you're sitting there blowing it out again, and then it's like, oh, and again, you're trying to keep up with keeping this balloon expanded, your life expanded. But the key is that wherever those holes are, find the biggest one in your life right now that is keeping you from having an expanded balloon, expanded life, and patch that hole with some love, with some sustenance for yourself, right? Because you're the only one that can do this. It's not someone else's job, and it's not someone else's responsibility to find these holes. It's yours. It's your life, your balloon. So find the biggest hole in your life and patch it up with whatever it takes to sustain your energy, to sustain your life. And then you'll find that, yes, although you've patched up this one hole, it will kind of, the air or the energy will leak out in other holes. But if you slowly patch up the holes, you'll find that you have to work less to keep it expanded. You don't have to blow as hard into your balloon. It just naturally stays expanded. And yes, there will be little holes, and it will leak out, and it will kind of, deflate. But then you just have to blow a little bit for it to stay expanded. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because that's the analogy I share with my clients and they love it. So, but anyways, if that was helpful, please let me know in the comments below. I am so happy to be home. I came home and this morning we had a double rainbow. And along the way, along the trips, numbers would pop up and I'd be just reminded of my guardian angels and how much they are loving this life for me right now and watching down and around me. I'm just very, very blessed to have the life that I live. And I feel like I'm not talking about the materialistic things either. I'm very blessed in those ways too, of course, but just in the soul way, the deeper way. I didn't come home and think I need to change my life. I need to live this way or I have to become somebody else or change anything. I came home with a deeper sense of gratitude for the life that I already have. And I think that's the secret to it all. Appreciate what you already have, because there is nothing out there that is going to fulfill you and parts of you in here that is feeling neglect or unloved or unworthy or undeserving, right? Like there is nothing I can buy to fix that. The mangosteen tasted great, but that's not going to fix the deeper core beliefs that I've got going on in here. So I've worked really hard to appreciate my life in all aspects. So I've come home with a deeper sense of appreciation for slowing down and being really in the moment and not worrying about what was going on at home and work and all the things. I was very present. I was able to make so many beautiful connections. The hugs that I was giving and receiving was on just this most beautiful level. Like there was this one I mean, look, there were so many, but this one moment with this person, and I think they're going to know who they are, where they were so brave and vulnerable to just break down and let go or let in and receive my love, that when I hugged this person and held them, I felt their soul breathe again, as if it was just, as if their heart had just stopped all this whole time. It was just so tense and no one was getting in there. And when I hugged this person, because they had like a beautiful experience through my breathwork sessions, that they were able to like release a little bit and their heart was able to pump again and they were able to receive the love and feel the love again. Because grief is fucked up, and we're going to explore that in future podcast sessions. But grief is just one of those things that debilitates you. So for these women, these people to show up and be vulnerable through their journey, and for me to be part of that, that makes me happy. That makes me truly, truly happy. I was asked, one last thing, I was asked, this question, it's a very simple question. What makes you happy? And initially I was like, oh, shopping. Shopping and eating mangosteen makes me happy. I do it very well. Like I do it so well. I scare myself how well I do it. And then I thought, no, like on a serious note, what genuinely makes me happy is being able to get to a point where I can connect with someone on that soul level, whether I've known them for years, like my husband, for example. When we sit down for dinner and it's just, we're eating and we're just eating the food, we're having a moment, it's dinner, we're having a dinner date, whatever. It's great, right? But the moments that move me and make me genuinely happy is like the nights when we're just in bed and we're just holding hands and we're talking or we're connecting on that deeper level. And I can feel our like hearts connecting and our souls connecting. That makes me so happy. Like that fulfills me in so many ways. And the same goes with a random stranger or with a friend. When we have moments where we can genuinely connect on a deeper soul level, that is what makes me happy. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I don't know, again, how long I've gone. I really need to probably have it like a little timer that goes off when I've hit my 10-minute or 12 minutes or whatever. But we learn, we grow, and I hope you have the most magical week. I am so excited to be home and to be facilitating my session tonight, to get back to work and kill it there so that I can have moments like this more and more. If you want me to talk about anything specific, please let me know in the comments. I'm so good at talking. I'm sure I can talk my way through any subject or topic. So if you are interested in hearing my views on anything specific, please share that in the comments or send me a DM. For those that are joining me for the first time, thank you for being here. I'm Katie from the Aligned Souls podcast and founder of not the Aligned Souls, but Aligned Souls. Follow me on socials for more. And until then, I want you to find moments in your day where you can be grateful and collect those moments every week until I meet you here next week for our episode 3. I can't wait. Until then, bye.